Fight fans all over the world, it's Daddy Pete with Slap Happy Gorilla. What? Daddy Pete, listen. Hey, man, look. Last night, we saw Edwin De Los Santos and Shakur Stevenson drop a bomb of a performance. Listen, I will be the first to say I was wrong because I said this was going to be a good fight. Now, I thought it was going to be a good fight because you have two young, hungry, young men that were fighting for a vacant championship belt and that coveted green belt, which is the WBC 135-pound strap. And, historically, that is the belt, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people hold dear, you know what I'm saying? You had a lot. It's got a lot of history. I say that. So, man, I really thought it was going to sincerely be a good fight. I really did, and I was very wrong. So I apologize for all of y'all. I tried to hype up and tell it was going to be a good fight because it wasn't. Now, got that out the way. Now, this thing right here, listen, man. Shakur Stevenson is statistically the best defensive fighter that's fighting in boxing right now. And I did say this. I said that Shakur Stevenson would not mind making it a fight that would look to a lot of fans to be boring. And to some pure boxing purists, it would still be a thing of beauty. That's what I did say. But yeah, he did make it look boring to probably all fight fans, and even to purists. That our boxing purists, it still was boring. It still wasn't a thing of beauty. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to bash Shakur Stevenson. I am a big fan of Shakur, very big fan, and I have been ever since he came into the professional rankings. He's a lot of people know he was highly touted amateur, Olympic silver medalist. So, a lot of people had high hopes for the guy, coming into the professional rankings. And I am one of those people. And like I say, I am a big fan of Shakur Stevenson. So I don't want to bash him because I know that people can have an off night. And he still won. And he won, now I'm going to say convincingly, and I know that's not going to hold a lot of magnitude, but he did win. Like, it's no question that he won the fight. He landed the more telling shots, even though he never got in double digits in any round. He never got in double digits landing punches. And overall, like for the whole 12 rounds, Edwin De Los Santos landed about 40 punches, like for the whole 12 rounds, which is, according to the announcers, the lowest in history for any championship fight that anybody's landed that low. Now, I know that the announcers can be wrong, even, quoting the CompuBox. CompuBox can be a little off, and sometimes, like, when the announcers announce something, they can be a little, and some of them don't mean, they just make a mistake. So I don't know how true it is in history, if anybody's landed that low amount in a championship fight. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying according to the announcers. It don't matter. It don't matter if it's right or wrong. CompuBox can be a little off between 10 to 15 punches. Hell, give them 20 punches. Give them, hey, whatever. It still would be low and would be a shame. Now, with all that being said, you can't just blame it on Shakur Stevenson, because there is ways that a fighter can push and press a fight, which I thought De Los Santos was going to try to pressure Stevenson anyway. You know what I'm saying? I thought that's what his fight was going to be. He showed that he does not know how to cut off the ring, because he didn't. He followed Stevenson around, but he did not cut the ring off. Obviously, he didn't cut it off. He wasn't effective in that, obviously. But yeah, he just proved to be like, no, he did not push the pace of the fight like I thought he was. He did try in some spots, but he did not pressure Stevenson at all, and he did not cut the ring off. So I thought that he had fast enough feet to keep up with Stevenson somewhat, but he didn't, and he wasn't effective. So I mean, you can't blame it all on Stevenson, but it just, all in all, it just was a fight that wasn't a pretty fight. But we do have a WBC champion in the 135-pound division. Listen, it is Shakur Stevenson, and he do deserve it. He deserved the win because he got the win. But, man, it just was, man, look, as fans, I mean, it's the entertainment business. We are looking to be entertained. Now, on the side of the fighters, they do get hit in the head for a living. So, I'm going to tell you this. He alluded to the fact that it may have been something going on, injury, and according to the announcers that had been visiting the training camps, that they claim he probably had a bruised left hand, which in his case, that is his dominant hand. So being that it's his dominant hand, and it was bruised, then hey, look, when you in a fight, look, man, you can lose your life in that ring. So when you feel like you're in a fight for your life against a guy that's a dangerous puncher, look, man, you want to get out of the ring unscathed. Now, this is the thing for me. If it's a big fight, I don't mind, just like Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, I don't mind for a guy to back out, whether you're going to get that opportunity again or not. You know, if you're going into a big fight, man, you might want to just rethink it. I understand, you know, they are prize fighters. They do make a living by fighting, you know, so I understand all that. But, bro, there again, it is an entertainment business. So, man, look, when the fight goes down, people want to be entertained. So, and, you know, people are paying their money, even if it's just a subscription. That wasn't a pay-per-view. It was just, you know, for people who had the ESPN Plus subscription. So, I mean, not like it was some big time. People lost a lot of money, but people did lose time. Just like, you know, it was on a Thursday night. People had work the next day. It didn't go off till, like, it was late, man. I don't know. I went to bed late watching it. So, I don't know what time exactly the fight ended. But I was watching some of the stuff, you know, with the announcers and stuff throughout to the end. Because, you know, on ESPN, they have the they go on after the fight. I forgot what it's called now. But anyway, I was watching everything, even after the fight. So I went to bed real late, man. It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning, a little after. So I think the fight lasted until about 12 something, and that's Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what it was everywhere else, but, man, I had to get up to go to work. I get up very early, so for me, it was a sacrifice, to say the least, you know. I have to be to work early because of my position and because of what I do. So my alarm clock go off at 3:30. I'll just say that. So, man, it was a sacrifice for me to stay up. So it's not just about money. It's about people's time. And, you know, boxing is a niche sport. So, you know, being a boxing fan, us as boxing fans, man, we get very into the sport, especially when it's a fight. It's a high-profile fighter, and it's for a high-profile. It's some stuff on the line, like, you know, there's a vacant title on the line. It's a stack. I'll say a stacked division because of the people that are in and around the division. So it's like, you know, it was a fight that people wanted to see, you know. But it was a waste of some people's time. That's how they felt. And, it just is what it is, man. And like I say, I'm not going to bash one person or the other. It just was a lackluster performance for both guys. And it is what it is. But now we do have a clear-cut 135-pound WBC title holder. It is now none other than Shakur Stevenson. And the reason why it's interesting is because of the players that are in and around that division. It was the belt that Devin Haney held. Devin Haney was the undisputed champion at the weight. He moved up to 140 to fight. He's supposed to be fighting next month. Devin Haney had a lot to say about this thing, man. He was talking trash to Shakur Stevenson. So, hey, this just make all of that all the more intriguing. Then the fight with Tank Davis. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about, oh, if he fight like that with Tank know how to cut the ring off. But, honestly, man, you still got to take in consideration. The man did allude to the fact that there may have been an injury. He didn't want to make excuses. But, I mean, you made the excuse by saying you don't want to make an excuse. But at the same time, it is what it is. These guys fight. And I say this sometime, on the channel, but because this is like a common theme among fighters. They say it's when they get in the ring to fight, it's fun. They say the grueling part that takes a toll on you is in training camp. It takes a toll on your body. That's where people a lot get injured. They do a lot of sparring. When they spar, they actually be hitting. Now, they don't hit like some of them go full on, some of them don't. It depends on what they working on, because usually when they sparring, they working on something. And then even if they just trying to get touches in, look, it's a contact sport. So just like y'all seen coming up, we got David Benavidez and Andre that's about to fight. David Benavidez had a black eye in the interview. Like, that was about a week or two ago. I don't know if he still got a black eye, but I mean, this stuff happens. Some people make a big deal out of it when fighters do. But I mean, it's contact sport, man. When they practicing, this is what's gonna happen. They gonna make some contact. I mean, that's it. That don't mean that, oh, he got dropped in sparring. Oh, he got hit. Man, it's a contact sport. That's what happens, But sometimes these guys get injuries in these training camps. And, to me, I'm going to tell you, man, it's all right to back out of a fight. And a lot of people, see, the common theme is that, oh, man, he was just scared. He wasn't ready or whatever. A lot of time the opposing team will say stuff like that. So this is what discouraged these fighters from, saying they got an injury. But then when they get in the ring with an injury and they don't live up to their full potential, the fight don't, then we criticize them. So we can't always have it both ways, man. We are fans, and I get it. We invest our time and sometimes a lot of money into some of these fights. So we are expecting to be entertained. That is true. But we still have to understand that, man, these are real human beings that are going into these fights. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be a basher of either guy, and I don't want to put the blame totally on either guy. But it was a lackluster performance, and hey, look, it still was a clear-cut win for Shakur Stevenson, so he is the champion. Would I like to see a rematch? Honestly, no. I'm be honest with you, man. I don't care. To me, Shakur Stevenson has always been the more talented guy. Edwin De Los Santos lost. He has a loss on his record. I think it was a split decision or something like that. So I honestly didn't see that fight. So I'm guessing it had to have been a close fight if it was a split decision. But he still got a loss. And the level of opposition he's faced overall is not the level of competition that Shakur Stevenson has faced. And, I mean, honestly, even Shakur Stevenson still showed in the fight that he is clearly the more talented guy. He has quick reflexes. The only thing that would probably, Edwin De Los Santos we don't even know that for sure, may have better power. And the reason why I say he may have better power is because when you facing a lower level of competition and you getting all of these knockouts, that's still not the same as someone that's facing championship level fighters and not having as many knockouts. You know what I'm saying? So, but we know that he got bombs in both hands, and yeah, we do. We know that. But that may be the only category that he has on Shakur Stevenson. Everything else, speed-wise, especially reflex-wise, Shakur Stevenson showed you in this fight that, hey, man, if he don't want this guy to touch him, the guy won't touch him. He showed that in the fight. And he frustrated Edwin De Los Santos. And that's all you need to have a recipe for disaster. He frustrated him. He could have. And I really do believe that it was his left hand that was injured because he didn't land it a lot. And he wasn't throwing it a lot. Like the last round, his coach, which is his granddad, told him to start throwing the 1-2. You know what I'm saying? And he did start throwing it, but it's a reason why he wasn't throwing it all through the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I really do believe it was an injury to his left hand, because that left hand is his money hand. That's the hand. That's where a lot of the magic happens. So I don't know, man. What do y'all think, man? Hey, like, hate, comment, subscribe. This is Daddy P. Well, hey, look, I appreciate everybody for subscribing to the channel. Subscribe if you have not. Hit that like button for me. But yeah, leave a comment, man. Let me know what you think about the Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos fight. I know that fight fans are disappointed. Especially I'm going to tell you, just from the reaction I've gotten from doing videos about both guys, I had a lot of people that was hopeful that Edwin De Los Santos would win the fight. I know that you guys are very, very disappointed. But hey, look, man, it's a sport. It's not a backyard brawl. It's not all the time go look like high-level entertainment. Sometimes it's going to be a chess match, and it's not going to be like a lot of entertainment or a lot of big shots landed. It's not always gonna happen, man. But I mean, get behind your fighter, stay behind your fighter. I really do believe that Edwin De Los Santos gained some more fans in this fight, because there was a lot of boos for Shakur Stevenson. But also, I really do believe that Edwin De Los Santos still will have some more opportunities, because it probably looks like to the most of the public that he was almost cheated out of a fight. Now, I'm not going to go as far to say that myself, because Shakur Stevenson showed, like I said, that he is the more talented guy. And a rematch, I don't know what it would show. I mean, because if Shakur Stevenson don't want to let him touch him, he not going to touch him. He proved that already. It's some times that Shakur Stevenson could have landed more left hands. And he showed that in the last round, because them 1-2s that he was throwing, most of them was landing. So that showed me that if he would have really started earlier throwing 1-2s, he could have got in the rhythm more, and you don't know what could have happened. So, I mean, but if it's a rematch, I ain't gonna be mad either. I mean, I'll watch it. I definitely would watch it, but I don't necessarily think that it's necessary. Maybe if they move up to a higher weight class later down the line, but I would like to see Shakur Stevenson fight for some more belts in the division. And I would like to see Edwin De Los Santos continue to move forward in the division. But it does look like he's getting a little big for the division. He is a big 135 pounds. He might want to start thinking about moving upwards, like 140, and maybe competing at that weight. And maybe when Shakur Stevenson get there, maybe they can face each other or something for a title shot or something. But hey, I wish both guys all of the best. Hey, and I wish you all the best as well. Hey, I hope y'all have a good Thanksgiving week. This is Daddy P. I'm out of there.